really want to welcome everyone to this morning's webinar, and this is one of a number we have ran over the last number of weeks. I think we will all agree that the last number of months have really been unprecedented for us all, and COVID-19 has meant huge changes to all of our lives. And today I think is particularly special because we have, it is so important that we hear the voice of everybody, and we hear a lot of talk now about getting different opinions, and I'm really pleased today that we have we are going to get the opinion of people with intellectual disability themselves who are part of our panel discussion. I'm going to move on very quickly with the presentation, and then I will introduce each of our panel members before I start the discussion. So please sit back and enjoy this presentation, which is absolutely wonderful. And I want to thank my own colleagues, Sarah Bowman and Michael Foley from the Trinity Centre for Ageing and Intellectual Disability, who have been so helpful in the preparation of these slides. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Okay, we're all learning this technology. So this really presentation is going to highlight the creativity, innovation and resilience of people with an intellectual disability and their carers and family members during this crisis. And I think this is a wonderful image here that Tommy has sent in, and a wonderful drawing which really talks about what it was like for him, and he calls it uncertain seas. And these are many things we have all heard people talk about over the last couple of months. The need to stay at home, restrictions, washing our hands, lockdown, hand sanitizers, virus, masks, missing family, COVID-19. And I think this was a wonderful, it is absolutely has been an unprecedented time in our lives with certainly very uncertain seas. We've had numerous reports in the field of intellectual disability in Ireland and indeed internationally. And I am highlighting new directions, and I'll come back to that later on to give you an idea of why I'm particularly highlighting that, because this was really Ireland's effort to really restructure how we're providing day services for people with an intellectual disability in Ireland. We have had a recent policy brief from the United Nations on the response to the need for an inclusive response to COVID-19. And the criticalness of providing accessible information and services and ensuring active involvement and consultation of people with an intellectual disability and establishing accountability measures. And I think today's presentation and workshop this morning is very much around that involvement and consultation. Many of you will be aware that in Ireland we have been running a longitudinal study on ageing and intellectual disability, IDS-TILDA, and at the very first webinar I presented some of the data which was really helpful to inform us on the increased vulnerability perhaps of some people with an intellectual disability if they were to get COVID-19. What we do know is that having an intellectual disability in its own right is not a risk factor, but for the same as for everyone in our society, having health comorbidities it puts us at increasing risk, and our recovery period can be more complex and more difficult. So we had really good data in Ireland to help to inform us as we embarked on what type of a response we required. And from the very beginning of IDS-TILDA, we had a very inclusive approach where we involved people, the entire intellectual disability community, and to try to provide meaningful opportunity and to celebrate diversity and inclusion. And this is us here celebrating our 10th anniversary with many of our participants here at Trinity College, a wonderful event. While we had a very strong conceptual framework that underpinned IDS-TILDA, from the very beginning we had a very strong values framework, and that was really nothing about us without us. So this was very much around the inclusion of people with intellectual disability, having a very person-centred approach, empowering people with intellectual disability to be able to participate in a study of this nature, and promoting the lives of people with intellectual disability. When we embarked on IDS-TILDA all those years ago, people kind of cautioned that people may not be able to participate, it would be too complex, it would be too difficult. But we worked very closely with the intellectual disability community and their carers themselves. And over the 10 years, we have had a 96% response rate. And this didn't happen by accident. But what we learned from the inclusive approaches were very important as well in our response to COVID-19. And one of the things we were concerned about was that people with intellectual disability would have testing, and that we would make reasonable accommodations to ensure that that testing would happen and that it wouldn't be too traumatic. So Dr. AIIHPC ran the health fair, and we learned a lot in IDS Tilda about making reasonable accommodations, and we were able to transfer this in terms to inform the testing procedure. And this is some interesting data, particularly in terms of social participation of people with intellectual disability in Ireland. So before COVID-19, from our data show that half of people with intellectual disability over 40 in Ireland had not spent any full days at home in the previous week, and a further 17% had just spent one full day. So about 70% of the population were out and about almost every day. And now with COVID-19, we're seeing that the majority are spending much of their time at home. And also, 96% of people that we interviewed said that the activity they were doing was what they wanted to do. So there has been a huge change in the lives, I think, of all of us, and this included people with intellectual disability. Of interest was when we looked at the types of activities that people were involved in. And as we can see, this was around going out for coffee, 95%, eating out, going shopping, going to the hairdressers, going to church, a place of worship. And these were activities that people with intellectual disability engaged in on a very, very regular basis. And I think for society at large, there are things we all engaged in probably quite regularly. And I think COVID-19 has provided us a forced opportunity in some ways for us to stop and to regroup and to really understand perhaps how we are spending our time. I know even for small children, life has been very busy. It has been on the go all the time. And I think this has given us all an opportunity to slow down and to rediscover new talents and to rediscover new interests. And it really is important as we begin to reopen up our communities again that we reflect on what we have learned during this period. Again, IDS Tilda showed us that most people with intellectual disability led a sedentary or underactive lifestyle using the RAPA instrument. And this is the PPALS program here, and many people with intellectual disability throughout Ireland now are involved in this program. But you will see from what people have submitted that actually people began to engage in more physical activity perhaps at some level during this crisis, because they actually began to think about how important engaging in physical activities really is for health and well-being. A really interesting issue was that 82% of people with intellectual disability in Ireland from IDS Tilda data showed that they didn't use technology. They didn't have a computer or use a tablet. And really there has been just such an unprecedented shift and a total culture shift now in what has happened. And this has happened for all of us. We have all had to learn technology, things like Zoom and Skype and other ways of communicating. And this is here from Stuart's Care Service, where last weekend they were running 150 kilometres to fundraise money to get this type of technology and iPads for all of their service users. So this has been, I think, a welcome culture change, because technology can play a huge part and role in people's lives for all of us. But there has been concern that for people with intellectual disability, particularly older people, that the technology age at some level bypassed this population. And this here is Frances, and Frances will be joining us this morning. And here is Frances talking here to her friend using Skype, and you can just see the absolute joy and empowerment and means of communication that this has opened up for people who are in isolation. And hopefully these new skills will continue to be embedded in our lives post-COVID-19. Also, people reported that 92% had friends, which was very positive, and 57% had friends outside their home, and 52% reported having a best friend. And 77% of people reported weekly contact, which was really good. So we have to ask ourselves now with COVID-19, how will we continue that weekly contact? And the lack of technology has really been critical in helping us to do that. We sent out a call to people with intellectual disability and their carers literally less than 2 weeks ago to help us to understand what was happening and to ask people to submit pieces of artwork and things they had been up to during this period of lockdown. And we have got literally hundreds and hundreds of submissions of amazing artwork, of activities that people have been doing. And I'm going to show you now a snippet of some of this wonderful creativity and innovation, and literally the level of resilience that people with intellectual disability showed to ensure that their health and the health of everybody in our society was upheld during this crisis. So I think really well done to everybody for adhering to what was really strict guidelines and difficult for everyone. So this is the map of Ireland, and we really were looking for ideas around creativity, innovation and resilience, and we have had submissions from all over the country. And I'm going to now, hopefully this will work and we'll start to show. Okay, can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Did that work okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that we've had just wonderful images there. It really just shows the breadth of things that people have been up to, and I think we should treasure and really reflect on all of that. And we should really, it's time for us now to pause and ask ourselves, what should we keep doing? What should we start doing? And what should we stop doing? So what are things we were doing prior to COVID-19 that we now should probably stop doing at this stage? And this is what people say that they would like to do when the virus is gone. So this was a wonderful image, going for drives, going home, going to music classes, going back to shopping, buying presents for everyone. So lots of lovely things, I think, similar to all of us hope to do when the virus is lifted. And this is another short video piece here from Fidelma, and I want to show it. Fidelma, who's celebrating a very special birthday, and what she's going to do in the context of COVID-19. Oh, sorry. Let's see what happened there.
Out in the garden, and we're going to have, and my birthday is on Friday, and we're going to have it out in the garden, and we're going to have cake and wine and takeaway. And normally I go out for my birthday, but we can't because of the coronavirus. But we're doing a party in the house outside.
I fought in my where once the pebbles fly. And always on the wing, we are dreaming song to sing. It's on only on the fields, I fought in my.
Okay, thank you. And this is the wonderful remembrance of those who have inspired us from Bobby 1996, and Kathy Service from the US kindly submitted that, and we're really delighted to be able to show it here today as well. And this is a wonderful, we've got so many pieces, we've got so many poems and so many wonderful pieces submitted by people. And this is from Lisa, and I'll just read a little bit of it, hopefully I have time, but there's so much to celebrate, and her title was Don't Give Up. Find your inner balance in these difficult, strange times we are presented with. Be humble and kind. Be kind towards people you see and don't see every day. Normalize your day-to-day life with familiarity that you do every day, even though it's indoors at the moment. Be safe. Don't be insecure about the future, because we're all in this together, even though you don't think so. Find your inner strength, because we can be heroes. And from this moment on, to make people smile and laugh who are vulnerable to this sickening virus. Be humble and kind. Be safe and sound. And please know that we're all in this together. So that's just a wonderful example of the pieces of poetry that we got up, and that was by Lisa, Don't Give Up. And this is wonderful other pieces of art, and all of this, well, this is from Alan, from Roscommon, wonderful pieces of art, and we will have all of these up on our website. And we are also, this isn't going to end here. Dr. Ailish Burke is involved with colleagues on a Get Wise for Your Health campaign, and we will be continuing with a healthy living program over the next number of weeks, which will be particularly important during this coronavirus and during this, as we ease out of this current situation. So we will be continuing many of these activities, and there will be opportunities for people to continue to connect to the Get Wise About Your Health program. And I want to finish up this presentation with another poem that was submitted by Rebecca McGonigal. And I think her poem is particularly beautiful. I wake up in the morning, beautiful blue skies. I'm lonely, but I'm lonely. I'm sitting in my kitchen having breakfast, but missing you. Every day I go out on my beautiful walk, but Nanny, where are you? Every day the bus passes, going nowhere I can go. I am with my loved ones, but missing my lover. In time, lockdown and isolation will be gone, and I will be with you all again. A wonderful poem submitted, I think, to cheer us all up from Rebecca McGonigal. And thank you. I want to really acknowledge all of the services who have been involved and submitted wonderful pieces of work throughout the country. And this is a list of, and to particularly acknowledge all of the individuals who submitted those amazing pieces of artwork. And again, my own team, Sarah Bowman, Gavin Dan, Holly Dennehy, Michael Foley, Dr. Eamon McGlinchey, and particularly the All-Ireland Institute of Hospice and Palliative Care, and all of the team at the Trinity Centre for Ageing and Intellectual Disability. I'm going to move over now, and I'm going to introduce the panel members, and we will move now to the panel discussion. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed that presentation. Wasn't it wonderful? It was so good. So okay, so I'm going to introduce Eileen Leonard and Anna Hart are both from Cope Foundation, and you're very welcome. Natalia Jackson is the CEO of the Daughters of Charity Service. You're very welcome, Natalia. Frances Donnelly is from the Daughters of Charity Disability Service, and you're very welcome, Frances. Stephen Hogan is from Stewart's Care Service. You're very welcome, Stephen. And Sarah Regan is from the Brothers of Charity in Roscommon. You're very welcome, Sarah. And Maylin Yap. Maylin works from Dublin, and Maylin works part-time at the Trinity College Dublin as well. So thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to start with, in the usual format, with questions to our panel. And I'm going to start with Maylin. Maylin, you have been working from home for the past while. And
Yes.
How have you found this, and how have you planned your day? And you might share that with us.
Yeah, so just want to say good morning, everyone who's listening in today. So I found it difficult at first, but I have adapted very well to working from home. From the start, I set up a routine for myself. I get up early, I have my breakfast, and I tune in to PE with Joe Wicks for a 30-minute workout. I then shower. I put on my makeup, and I dress for work. We have virtual team meetings, and when my line manager sets my work, I have a go-to person to contact if I need support. I take my breaks at the same time every day. Most days I have my lunch with my mom, who is cocooning at home. Sometimes my team organizes virtual lunch dates, which I enjoy very much. I work for CPL Recruitment Agency as a HR assistant, and they are extremely supportive of their employees. They keep me connected and engaged. They have a health and fitness app, which I find great.
Okay, excellent, Melanie. So you have a great structure exactly, to your day, and you get up and you get dressed and get on the makeup and start your day, which is so important for us all. It's having that structure to keep us going. If I were to ask you, is there anything in particular, Melanie, that you think that we can do to support the mental health and well-being of people with intellectual disability at this time? Have you any advice to give us on that?
I do. So in my opinion, staying connected is most important. It stops us from feeling isolated. My team manager in CPL Recruitment Agency has organized a virtual cafe where we link up and with randomly assigned employees for coffee. So it's a great way of getting to know new people outside of my own team. We also have a step challenges, of course adhering to COVID-19 restrictions. Just last month on payday, we had a Zoom gathering where we all had drinks, chat and a quiz after work. It was great fun. Outside of my working hours, I am baking with my mum, helping with household chores and walking my dog Murphy. I miss not seeing my siblings, but we WhatsApp chat and Zoom. Overall, staying connected, having someone to link in and encouragement to exercise and stay fit and healthy are the most important supports.
Thank you very much, Melanie. I think that's really, so important. And having the technology now that we are developing to help people now to connect, I think is just key. Would you agree with that?
I do. I strongly feel that technology plays a big role at this time. I feel now with technology now, I find it absolutely amazing. It's great to connect with my colleagues on an everyday basis when I'm working. It's nice to link in with my team and my manager, and they often delegate my tasks that I do for the day. So I base my work around that.
And you're keeping fit as well and doing your stuff.
I am, yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think that's been very helpful, Melanie.
Thank you, Mary.
I'm going to now go ask you, Sarah Regan, Sarah from Roscommon. Sarah, you've been in lockdown now for a while, and we have all found it difficult. And you might just share with us, how have you found lockdown and how have you coped with it? Yeah.
Well, I miss Mass and I miss the Holy Hour, and I get Mass on YouTube and I set up a May altar in the garden outside the back of my house, and May altar. I set 5 decades of the rosary. You're right, 5 decades of the rosary and a page in my messenger and another little page that I read, and I have my rosary beads and read out the 5 decades from the rosary and my rosary beads.
Okay, so your spirituality.
I miss mostly going to Mass.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, so going to Mass was a very important part of your life, obviously, Sarah, and you've come, and your spirituality, so you have come up with other ways that you can actually do that now during the lockdown.
You can, and there's something that
So yeah, so you look at maths on YouTube now.
I look maths on YouTube, and let you come to the day service. Just the next question.
Yeah, that's really good, Sarah. Yeah, so it's just showing you've come up with a kind of an alternative way to be able to adhere to your own forms of spirituality, which is really, really good and really important. Sarah, I just want to ask you about prior to COVID-19, I don't know if you went to a day centre, and have you taken up learned new skills now, and how do you, if we reopen up again, do you want to go back to the day centre, or have you learned new things?
I want to stay in the house for 3 days and come to the day centre for 2 days. If that was all right with you, Karen, and none again, you there as well. Whatever you think, I don't know. So
if you'd have more time, so is that because you want to do more, have more time to pursue your own interests, Sarah, now?
Well, yes, that would be it. I could walk up to the church and do a bit of gardening and maybe see the animals.
What animals have you, Sarah?
But you see, when I happened to any animal, I wouldn't. Oh, we have hens in Castlecote. I'd feed them and all that in the morning and evening, you know, when Jerry began to work and all them. And I'd be glad when I don't have to get up too early in the morning as well. Yeah, to be honest with you, that's another thing. I wouldn't have to get up to about 8 o'clock or that nowadays.
So that's
8 o'clock.
Yeah. So that's.
I let you talk. Sorry.
Sorry.
I let you talk. You were talking and you're distracted.
No. Sorry, Sarah. Yes. So you have more time to pursue some of your own interests, Sarah.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
So long as I get help at the garden, and then I won't mind just saying, so long as I get a little assistance with it, because it can be difficult now. It can, you know, the garden.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a little bit of baking at home. I am. And crafts. That's right. I did the church with crafts with glue and little buttons to make that lid outside of the church.
Yeah, and you did lovely knitting as well.
And I'm doing a marathon for May as well. I do these a bit walking, not too quick, do you say? I prefer walking during the days, right? I go for not too quick of a walk now because I'd be out of breath myself if I walk too quick, you know. But
yeah, but at least you're getting out, and I think that's.
Yeah, it's nice to get out and then go for the marathon walk still, it is.
Yeah, and you have purpose in going for that walk for you. Yeah.
She thought I should participate in it anyway, so I do that for her.
Yeah. Okay. That's really good. So
I have one more question.
Your time to 2 days then a week, and go to the day centre 2 days a week, and then stay at home and do your own interests 3 days. That's what you're hoping to do going forward. Okay.
That's what I'm hoping to do, to surely.
That's very interesting indeed. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Sarah. That's lovely. Thank you.
Hello. Can I say hello to?
You can say hello to somebody, surely.
Is she there? Wait, she stopped.
Yes.
And Eileen Leonard. How are you, Eileen? How are you, Eileen? She can't hear.
She can hear you.
She might be able to hear me.
She probably can hear you. Yeah. She probably can hear you. Yeah. You know Eileen, do you, Sarah? Yeah.
Oh, thanks now, and hello, Eileen.
Yeah.
Thank you to you, and thanks, Eileen. And Melanie,
that's lovely. It's nice that you got connecting on this morning. So that's yeah, that's great and lovely. Okay. Are you okay there, Eileen? Did you want to say anything to Sarah?
How are you, Eileen? She said, how are you to me? That's what I... And this is Karen, and that's Nola. You want to say, how are you to them?
Lovely. That's great. Excellent. That's lovely. Okay. Now I'm going to move. Thank you very much, Sarah, and we may talk later. I'm going to now
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. So, Frances, good morning to you, and thank you, Frances Donnelly from the Dorset Charity Service. Frances, there has been a lot of talk about the difficulty, particularly for the over 70-year-olds, in terms of cocooning. And I know that you come into this bracket, and just you might let me know how you have found cocooning for the past long period now at this stage.
How have you found staying in the house?
Not great.
Not great, Francis. No.
It's hard to stay in the house.
It was hard to stay in it, yeah.
I like going out.
You like going out and about, don't you?
And about.
Yeah, and all the different things.
And all different things I do.
Okay. And Francis, we're just not hearing you terribly well. Can you just talk up there, Francis? What did you miss most, Francis?
Going out to the shopping centre.
Okay. Going out to the shopping centre. Excellent.
And going down to my bingo.
And go to your bingo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not able to do them now. Yeah.
No, and to my club in Garner Street.
Oh, and you went to a club in the community as well, and you're not able to do that, to go there now. Okay. And how did you occupy your time then, Francis? You know, what?
Do me knitting.
Oh, doing your knitting. Okay, very good. And did you do knitting before this, Francis, or did you just learn knitting now?
No, I did it all along.
You did it all along. And you're just
quick on that.
Yeah. And are you doing much more? And you learned. I seen, Francis, that you started using technology and your iPad to talk to your friends. Tell me a little bit about that, Francis.
To Agnes.
To Agnes, yeah. So you miss seeing Agnes.
Yeah, I do miss seeing her.
Yeah, okay. And does she live far away?
No, not too far away. Clancy Road.
Okay, not too far away. But you're able to talk to her now on your iPad, Francis? Yeah, that's good. And hopefully you'll be soon able to see her again. Yeah.
And there's my knitting.
Oh, and that's your knitting. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. That's gorgeous. Yeah, that's beautiful. Is it a baby rug?
And I learned how to do the edging myself.
Oh, you learned how to do the edging now during this period. Oh, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That is just really good. Yeah, really very, very talented. That is amazing. You have a little home enterprise there, Francis, I think.
And I do tea cozies as well.
And you do tea cozies as well. Very good. Yes, excellent. Really good. Yeah, really good, Francis. Okay, that's lovely. Yeah. And what are the things, Francis, that you're most looking forward to when the lockdown is lifted? What are you looking forward to doing again?
To go to the hairdressers.
Same as us all. Yeah, to go to the hairdressers, indeed.
And do me lash up.
And go to collect your pension.
Yeah.
And go and collect me pension.
And having the chat.
Yeah.
And have a chat with them.
Okay, excellent. Oh, that's great, Francis. Yes, you'll have lots of money to spend now when this is all over. And you might head off on a holiday. Will you head off on a holiday at some stage?
I don't know. We're getting a holiday this year.
Yeah, you don't know if there'll be a holiday. I think we're all the same. We'll have to do something. Yeah, okay. So they're the things really, I suppose, that you missed really, was meeting your friends and getting out. But you've learned new skills like technology and the iPad. So hopefully you'll be able to keep that going now, Francis.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. That's really good. That's very helpful. So thank you very much, Francis, for that. I'm going to move now. So thank you, Francis, and we'll talk to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Francis. You can say.
Bye.
And I'm going to now talk to Stephen Hogan from Stewart's Care Services.
Good morning, Mary. How are you?
Good, Stephen. Lovely to talk to you. So,
you too.
For joining us. And I know you were somebody who was in self-isolation for a period. Tell me a little bit about how that happened and what that was like, Stephen. Yeah.
I was in work on the Thursday morning and I started showing symptoms of a small cough, and then I went into work on the Friday and I was feeling unwell, and then I was sent home from work and then I was in self-isolation then from the Friday right up to the 27th of March and stuff like that. And then I had good support from all the staff here in Stewart's, my independent living staff and everything else. And then because I live with two other lads in the dependent program, so they had to be moved out of the house for a safety precaution and stuff like that. And then for what I've done over the time for when I was sick, like I couldn't get out and get the stuff I wanted to do, like go to shop and get my own messages as I always do and meet up with friends and stuff like that. So they had to get done. So my shopping had to be done for me. I was standing in the house watching DVDs, listening to music, reading papers and magazines that I like reading.
Yeah, so you kept yourself busy to a degree, but it was tough though, Stephen. Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough enough. I didn't mind. I'd rather be in the house on my own, and at the time, when I was sick, so that way then I couldn't pass what I had on to someone else, or going up and visiting any of my family members and pass it on to them. So it was just to be in the house in self-isolation for 14 days and on a safety precaution.
Yeah.
It's going out and picking it off somewhere else and stuff like that. So it was better off being in the house, which I didn't mind. So I had the telly as well and everything else.
Yeah, okay. So you managed quite well, which is really good. Nonetheless, it obviously was difficult, the same as it is, I think, for us all. Now that we're beginning to see maybe the lockdown being started to be lifted somewhat, Stephen, what are the things that you're fed up of now at this stage, or would really like to talk on?
Well, the one thing I am tired of hearing, Mary, is the restriction ban. I'd like the restrictions ban to be lifted, and so I can go back to doing my daily routine, which is going to the meet up with friends, going to the meet up for a coffee down in either Liffey Valley or stuff like that. And then I miss my daily hobbies, which are playing for Barn Hall Rugby Club, which is the location in Kildare. And I play basketball for the Lucan Hedgehogs, which are based in Lucan. And I'm normally meet up with my friends, family, stuff like that. And because of the lockdown, I haven't been able to do much. Only go from the 2 meters as far as the shops and back and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sports particularly. I mean, I think that's a big issue for everyone really is the opening up of sports, and I'm not sure we're going to see that in the immediate future. Probably no competitive sports, I don't think, until the end of the summer. And are you able, Stephen, to keep in contact? Are you using?
Yeah, I keep in touch with my friends on WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, as well as on the phone. My aunties and uncles have been they keep in touch with me over the phone as well, and I miss I miss being able to go train. I miss the gym and stuff. So I go to the gym here in Stewart's, and I miss being part of out there in the community and with the lads playing rugby. So I'd like to get back out there and start training again, so I can keep up my own fitness and stuff like that.
Okay. And are you able to keep any of the? Are you able to do some?
Yeah, there's a big canal. There's a big canal in Dundalkin and stuff like that. But there's very little parts where you can go and practice your kicking and stuff. Because I'm the captain for Barnhall Buffaloes and then the fly half.
Okay. So that's great, really. So really, it is. I suppose the same as for us all. It's just getting back to our some of our normal routine and how we're doing to. And are you working part-time now, Stephen?
I work only 2 days a week in the Circle K in here in Palmerstown, because I would normally work 5 days a week. Because of the pandemic, my days were cut and stuff, so I only work 2 days a week, which is Wednesday and Fridays.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so you still have that. Okay, that's really helpful. And have you taken up any new initiatives or learned anything new or different, or taken up any new hobbies, Stephen, during this period as well?
No, I like, not really. Like, I just like read books and stuff like that, and then sometimes I like to sit back on the couch and just let it take it all in and just stay calm and
yeah. A little bit more space and time to do something.
Yeah, which is good as well, because sometimes, like, whatever injuries you have as well, you can just sit back and just rest it all. And when the lockdown does end, you can go meet with friends and stuff like that. And like, keep in touch with all the lads and off the Barn Hall team and everywhere else.
So being able to have the social connectedness again, and I think Maylene and others talked about that, is just so key to everyone's health and good mental health. So it is really looking at technology and other ways, and Francis spoke about that as well, that we can do that and keep that going. I think that's very helpful, Stephen, and thank you very much. Now I'm going to talk thank you very much, Stephen. That was very helpful. I'm going to now talk to Eileen Leonard from Cope Foundation, all the way down there in the south, in the sunny south. And you haven't been able, Eileen, to get out for quite a long time as well. And what did you miss?
I miss swimming, I miss sport, I miss yoga.
So you're swimming.
I miss yoga.
Yeah. Okay, we're just having a little bit of difficulty in hearing Eileen. Yeah. So you're swimming particularly, your yoga. Okay. And what are you doing now, Eileen? Have you new hobbies now? Okay. Okay. Oh, and this is some of the artwork that you have been doing. Oh, that's beautiful painting. Oh, that's really nice painting. And you have been doing some knitting as well and crocheting. Oh, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. And you're doing that as well, crocheting as well. Very good. Excellent. So you're keeping yourself busy, Eileen. And have you learned new, did you always crochet, Eileen, or did you learn this during the lockdown?
I learned it very often. I would crochet my own time.
You always crocheted your own stuff, and now you have more time to do some more of it. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so thank you, Eileen. Ina, I know you're best friends, yourself and Ina share a place together. And Ina, you might tell me about, what are the things that you miss most and how you are connecting with family?
I miss the social club.
You miss the social club?
Yeah,
and you miss family, yeah?
And the school. The school.
Okay. The line is not great. Is the speaker a little bit nearer?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you pull in a bit, great. Thanks, Ina. Yeah. And what new activities have you been doing, Ina? Did you take up new things?
I do. Knitting.
Knitting. Okay, you're knitting as well. A great industry in knitting here in Ireland. Oh, very good. Very good. Very, very nice. Oh, and you knitted that lovely brooch. Oh, that's very nice. That's beautiful. Very, very good indeed. Yeah. Excellent. And are you looking forward, Anna, to go back to the day centre, or did you go to a day centre? Okay. 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 Okay, very good. Okay, very good, Anna. That's excellent, and thank you very much for sharing that. And what are you most looking forward to now? And go back to work. Okay, looking back to work. Okay, excellent. That's really helpful, and thank you from Cork, and lovely to see everyone from Cork this morning. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to now talk to Natalia Jackson. Natalia is the CEO of the Daughters of Charity Disability Support Service, and was very influential in kicking off these webinars, and thank you for that, Natalia, and for helping to get them off the ground, and the support you gave to me during that. So which was really good. But we have, you know, at an organisational level, we have there's probably a real opportunity now for us to reevaluate. And as we're going to open up, are the things that you might want to close down, or perhaps to rebuild back up better?
Yeah, thanks, Mary. There's definitely been different ways of working. I mean, the majority of our staff, from MDT to admin, that aren't frontline staff, are now working from home, and it's working really well. And whilst I think you'll always miss that face-to-face contact, we can see now that with technology, and once you have good IT systems, it can work very well in terms of working from home. Also in terms of how we deliver services. So we've closed day services, but we've been able to be, I suppose, very creative in terms of the resources that we're using, the resource packs, using technology like Zoom, like Facebook. We have a YouTube channel, and all these ways we can connect, and not only, I suppose, to the smaller audiences as in per centre, but it's across the whole service now. So it's that increase in shared resources that I've seen really changing. So going forward, and also I suppose what I've seen is the resilience of all of our residents and people staying at home. They've been fantastic. They've been really creative. You see, from outdoor bingo to garden competitions, and that understanding of social distancing. And I think social distancing is here to stay. It's here for a while. So we need to again look at how we're delivering resources, more online, more, I mean, you heard what Sarah was saying as well. She mightn't want to go back to a day service 5 days, and we need to be able to respond to that and be creative in terms of, well, what will that look like? I suppose one of the other things, a takeaway from all of this, and there's going to be constant learning, is the collaboration with other providers. And I suppose what I have seen is that level of support and collaboration has been fantastic. And I think that'll be great going forward, looking at, I suppose, launch your care and the development of further partnerships, because we all have the same objective, to deliver the best service that we can to individuals and to ensure that they're person-centred. So I can definitely see that moving, not only within the ID sector, but also with the acute hospitals as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is one of the things that we have seen, is this very big building of a community and the sharing of ideas across service providers, and not only indeed in Ireland, but internationally. And I think we've seen a whole community galvanised together which you would like to think will be a legacy and will continue on from this. We're almost coming to the end of time. I really want to thank you very much, Natalia, for that. And I really want to thank all of our panel members, Eileen Leonard, Anna Hart, Francis Donnelly, Stephen Hogan, Sarah Regan, and Maylene Yap and Natalia Jackson. I also want to thank Sarah and Michael and my own team. And I'm going to hand back to Kathy to see if there is additional questions. I really want to thank everyone who submitted these wonderful pieces which really shows the resilience, the creativity and the innovation of people with intellectual disability. And we can just learn so much as a society from all of this. And I do, of course, want to remember those who have passed away, and we will hopefully get time to remember them in a different way at a future date. But our thoughts and prayers are with them and their families as well at this time. Okay, Kathy, I'm going to hand back to Kathy, okay?
Thank you so much, Mary. There's been a huge outpouring of appreciation through the chat for the panelists today and for the fabulous resources. And the question about where those will be available. So you have a website, Mary, that you might like to mention.
Yeah, there will be on the TCID website, and we will send and it's at the end of the slides where the actual web address. But we will send that to you, Kathy, to send to all the panelists so that people can get. And there will also be probably on the Daughters of Charity website as well. So there will be on different places that we can load these on. So yes, they will be available. It will be on the Trinity website, certainly. Yeah.
Another question that came in is just Jan has asked, she'd love to hear about how anyone is continuing to use intensive interaction during this time.
How anyone is
continuing to use intensive interaction during this time. So I guess that is where you've got very close involvement of staff with people with intellectual disability, obviously with the issues around prevention of infection and spread.
It's the social distancing. Natalia, do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I suppose, well, within our houses and within for the residential across the homes, the residents know as much as we do in terms of social distancing, but within their home, they're not going to social distance. In terms of staff, you're looking at PPE and you're risk assessing every situation and the wearing of PPE across houses. Going forward now, I suppose cocooning and those measures have been relaxed, but we'd have a number of individuals still at a high risk category. So it is that risk assessment piece for everything. Saying that, I know just like Francis, we all want to get back out there and go to the hairdressers, and we need to start opening up as a community and as a country, but each stage needs to be very much risk assessed. And also from an NDT support, NDT have been fantastic in terms of that Zoom connection. But at some point, we're going to have to look at the face-to-face interaction as well. So it's a constant review, I suppose.
Yeah, and we're looking as well at thank you, Natalia, for that, at really looking at telehealth, because it is important that we can bring back some of the therapies, particularly from some of the disciplines, to people who require those therapies. And we need to look at the role that telehealth might play in terms of providing a service. But yes, they are all important things. Yeah.